Hello, everybody. Welcome to the podcast. And we're live from Mexico. Anyway, um, let's just get stuff out of the way. I have a couple news and a very funny video. Um, I thought the video was very ingenious. So I thought I would link it in the description. Like, I don't want to share it directly because, I'm probably going to get hit with like a copyright strike or something. And I really don't want to be dealing with that, so I'm just gonna go ahead and put the link in the description of the video. So, um, let us begin. Um, well, Binance, as some of you may know, started margin trading, and they have delivered their first casualty. They have claimed their first casualty, really. Um, it was confirmed by its CEO, Changpeng Zhao, on social media June 24th. The pilot scheme delivered its first liquidation, likely painful for those involved, on a Bitcoin that is right now. Well, it's marked as $11,227.50. Uh, it was on a short. Somebody decided to go ahead and short Bitcoin, and they got bit in the butt. They who in their right mind would want to short Bitcoin on like the middle of a raging bull market? um and I say that because I mean, just a few weeks ago we're like at 8,000. Right now we're like almost at 12. I mean, earlier this morning we're like at 11,400 bucks. And 11,000, I mean, $11,400 is not that far off from 12. Okay. Whenever something, whenever like a cryptocurrency like Bitcoin is, at $400, like in the mid range, um, that's not that far off from like the next level up or the next level down, depending on the situation, right? If we're in the middle of a bear market, yeah, you would expect, like if it's 11.5, you would expect it to go to like 11, and then from there go to like, the high 10,000s. But yeah, they claimed their first victim. Um, Bitcoin price continues to fluctuate at press time on Monday, having reached over $11,300 on some exchanges before correcting downwards below 10,600. Um, Significant price moves can prove highly costly for margin traders. Uh, with the world's leading cryptocurrency exchange choosing to steer clear of the sought after yet potential dangerous tool until now. So, yeah, margin trading has great gains, but it's also very, very risky, right? No risk, no reward. The higher the risk, the higher the reward, right? But it doesn't mean that you should make dumb decisions like trying to short Bitcoin in the middle of a bull market. Um, and the CEO wrote on Twitter, "Don't be against Bitcoin. Don't bet against Bitcoin." You know, um, It's just funny to me. Like who the hell would want to think and do that? Um, the pilot program that they're running currently involves several thousand Binance users, with officials helping to open up participating holders of its house token BNB, uh, which is at $36.58 right now. They opened it earlier this month via an early access scheme. So if you held their coin, you get early access to margin trading. Um, Obviously, if you're in the US, you're pretty much banned from margin trading, or if you're a US citizen. But there's ways to do it. I'm not suggesting you go ahead and do it, but there's ways, right? I mean, I've never margin trade. I've never margin traded anything, let alone Bitcoin. Um, but I've done some stuff like margin lending. Um, I don't know if that's still available on Poloniex for US users, but back in 2016, margin lending on Poloniex, it was just as profitable as, you know, margin trading. It was risky, right? Sort of, because you put your Bitcoin on an exchange, and who knows if it's gonna get hacked or not. Um, like Bitfinex, that that same year it got hacked. Which, by the way, um, some Israeli brothers were already arrested for the hack. But margin lending, basically, you put your Bitcoin on an exchange like Poloniex, and you would get um, you would get like profit from the people margin trading. I remember one day, like the percentage that you would get, the interest percentage that you would get from um, lending on Poloniex was almost at 1%, 10%. I lent out some Bitcoin, and immediately within like 15 minutes, I made like about $800 worth of Bitcoin, like right away. you know, um, and I had that lending set up, for about, they give you like a term, and I think I had like a 5-day term on that. But within 15 minutes, I had already made like almost $1,000 worth of Bitcoin just from doing that. It was very profitable, and then it just died down. Um, the last time I tried doing that was like last summer, and that didn't end well, at all. Clean 6-ish. How's it going, buddy? We get this year. And yeah, I mean, don't try to short Bitcoin in a bull market. It's just stupid. Moving on, moving on to um, something a little bit more funny. Um, there's a guy named Jason Page. I left his link in the description. He recently made a Bitcoin Pokemon song. It's just a theme song of the Pokemon with a parody thing for Bitcoin, and it's just very ingenious. I think. Um, so I don't want to get hit with like the copyright strike if I share it, live, but um, I don't want to deal with that. But I left the link in the description if you haven't seen it. There it is. It's at the very bottom. Um, it's pretty funny though. But eventually, what it says is true. The banks are scared. You know. So I left it there. Um, for anybody that wants to check it out that hasn't seen it. What else do I have going on? Fake Doshi, as I mentioned yesterday, um, he was unable to prove that he was Satoshi. Um, and now he has to show up in court in about 3 days to explain to the judge why he shouldn't be held in contempt of court. Right? He basically ignored the order for him to present the court with the public keys where he mined the Bitcoin to early, prior to 2014, and he was unable to do it, claiming all these excuses about a blind trust. One of his trustees was a company that's no longer in business, and apparently he owns. The other trustees are either dead or they cannot be reached. Um, so he's pretty much screwed, and the estate of Dave Kleiman um, might have a strategy, right? They might have a strategy where apparently they want to settle out of court for a smaller sum that they're asking. Um, but if that's not the case, they want to leverage that, and tell Fiktoshi, either you pay me what I'm asking for, or I expose you, right, for the fraud that you are, which we already know, right? But he's gonna, get his reputation a little bit more damaged, or a lot more damaged. So there's that, and he also has a lawsuit against Peter McCormack on Twitter. Like Peter McCormack is apparently a YouTuber, and he called Fake Toshi on Twitter, and he got sued by Fake Toshi for libel. So I mean, come on. Um, so um, so yeah, I mean, what is the judge gonna say? Oh, you're suing this guy for calling you Fake Toshi, but you're not Satoshi. Um, what do you want me to do? Like, the judge is probably gonna dismiss the claim. I mean, it's just retarded. He's just probably gonna dismiss it and say, you know, Fake Toshi, I order you to, pay Mr. McCormack the fees that he had to pay for the court, and you're going to jail for a long time, or paying a fine of whatever amount it is for wasting my time. So get the hell out of the way, right? um that's what I'm hoping for. Obviously, there's he has two lawsuits in like two countries. um the one with Kleiman is in Florida, and the one with Peter McCormack is in the UK. So I mean, that's pretty much what I'm hoping for. That he gets um, screwed. You know, because I mean, in Florida, he might be. I mean, he's gonna be held in contempt and go to jail for 6 months, or he's going to, you know, get fined $100,000, which is not much, right? It's about like 10 Bitcoin. 10 Bitcoin is not much. So, um, if you think about it, this guy created Bitcoin SV, or as I like to call it, Bitcoin shit version. Um, he just literally like made money out of thin air, and he can just get a bunch of that, which I'm pretty sure he has a lot, sell it for fiat, and then just pay the court fees. I mean, it's not a lot. So there's that. So let's talk about Evil Corp. Um, if you're not familiar, like if like with my channel, I've mentioned a couple times that I like a show called Mr. Robot. It's a hacker series um, on the USA Network, and I think they have another on other channels, Space Channel. I don't know. I don't know if they have space in the U.S. or in any other country, but in like Argentina and Mexico, um, there's a channel called Space, and they have that series on that channel. So they talk about a coin called Evil Coin, and I was gonna put hashtag Evil Coin, um, but apparently I don't want to confuse people with a coin that is called Evil Coin, and they have it on CoinMarketCap. So it's a poopy coin that is worth um, 34 satoshis, and there's like less than $2 in volume the last 24 hours. Apparently, it came out in 2016. I don't know if it has anything to do with the show, but I think the show came out in 2016 as well. Um, so anyway, and that's what I like to call, Facebook coin Libra. I call it evil coin, and I call it evil corp, right? I saw a video recently. It's pretty dumb. Um, saying that you can get rich with Libra. Like, how the hell are you gonna get rich with a stable coin? Um, the guy was explaining that you could get your Bitcoin before a pullback, pull it all into Libra, and then um and then you can hedge, Bitcoin with Libra. No, dude, you could do that with Tether, and it's a terrible idea. You could do that with a coin called Newbit, and it's a terrible idea. It's basically a tether. It's pegged to the dollar, sort of. So, um, I mean, personally, I wouldn't touch Libra with a 100-foot pole. Um, I wouldn't. It's just um. Now the question, if it's going to be an on ramp for Bitcoin, I hope so, right? I hope so. But the problem that I see with that is that if what the guy was saying, that you can hedge Bitcoin with Libra, and you can put $10,000, or that is not a good idea. I mean, it's a stable coin. It's centralized, totally centralized. Um, they're gonna have to KYC you. Although if you use Facebook, they already know who you are anyway. Um, they already know who you are. So I don't see that much of a problem about KYCing. They already know who you are. They already know who your family members are. They already know everything about you. But hopefully, people are like, hey, I have that Libra coin. Um, what is this Bitcoin thing? Um, Somebody has already put out a coin called Zuckbucks. Facebook comes too late. Yeah. And why anyone in the world is gonna, will trust Facebook? I have no idea. My buddy Luke in the UK, um, if you don't know his channel, Yes for Motivation, he put out a video recently, and I think he had a screenshot of Mark Zuckerberg. I don't know if it was him or Crypto Zombie. They had a screenshot of Mark Zuckerberg back in the early days of Facebook, um, texting one of his friends, and it said, "If anybody needs the email address of anybody in Harvard, just hit me up. I can give it to you." And when he was asked how he managed to do that, he said, "I don't know. Just people just gave them to me. I don't know why anybody was gonna trust me." You know. And he went on to say dumb fluffs, if you know what I mean. Um, so he claimed he had social security numbers as well. So I mean, why anybody's gonna trust Facebook is beyond me. I don't trust it. Um, and people were talking about Facebook back in like 2008 and how they wanted all your like whatever you posted on Facebook now belonged to them. So I avoided Facebook like the plague, right? And then I decided to get a Facebook account, and then I got banned from Facebook for exposing a cryptocurrency scam, a crypto mining scam, really. Um, and whatever. I mean, I haven't gone back um, to try and make a new Facebook account. It's not anything that it's gonna kill me. So why would I care about that, right? But I hope that eventually people get curious and say, "What the hell is this Bitcoin thing?" And holy crap, it's way better than uh, Evil Coin. It's way better than Libra. Um, there's a funny saying that I saw in a video on a thumbnail. It's called Libra. In Spanish, it means free us, right? Um, well, it means free or it means pound. It all depends on context. And the guy that made the video, it's a Spanish guy, and he basically put Libra in Spanish, like I said, it means free, and then the bottom said us from evil, like kind of like when you go to like a church and you pray, right? Kind of like saying deliver us from evil. And I thought it was pretty funny. Now I saw some people asking why in the world he named it uh, Libra, and some speculated that because the Winklevi, they own Gemini Exchange, they want to do the whole zodiac thing, and it's Gemini and Libra apparently. Um, why he named it like that, I have no idea. But I guess that would kind of make sense. Um, what else is going on? You know those people that buy those people that buy weed, cannabis stocks. Um, well, they're apparently they're pissed off at Bitcoin because Bitcoin just left them in the dust. And yeah, I mean, they just took out, Bitcoin just took out the gold market, and they just took out the very early cannabis market. Cannabis stocks. It just like exploded and left them all in the dust. And apparently they're very envious of Bitcoin. They should have bought Bitcoin instead of wheat stocks, really. Um, they should have just bought that. What else is going on? Oh yeah, one thing I forgot to mention the other day. I'm thinking of changing the name of the channel to something else because if you put Bitcoin Daily News on the search on YouTube, it's going to be very difficult for anyone, even for me, to find my own channel. So I'm probably gonna just change the name to something else and just leave it like that. So if you in the future, in the recent future, near future, right? If you see a notification, if you have assuming that you have the little bell turned on, see a notification from a channel that you don't recognize, well, it's probably me. Just throwing that out there, because I mean, I have already like tried searching for my channel multiple times, and that didn't work. Finally, Bitcoin GBTC, the Grayscale Bitcoin Trust, is trading at a serious premium, which works out to a Bitcoin price of almost $15,000. It's like a 40% premium, and it obviously it indicates that further gains are imminent. So um, you can expect that pretty soon. And before I end um, the show, about 2017, that's when one Bitcoin was equal to one Venezuelan bolivar. I mean, one Satoshi. I'm sorry, one Satoshi, not one Bitcoin. Right now, one Satoshi is almost like 29 Venezuelan bolivars. So if I put um 0001, it's 28.15 Venezuelan bolivar. 28.15. In comparison, I mean, let's just put 100 Satoshi. That is equal to 2,814 Venezuelan bolivar. Well, make that 13. Um, if you live in Venezuela and you hold at least 0.001 Bitcoin, like 100,000 Satoshi, you are the proud owner of 2,812,000 Venezuelan Bolivar. And if you own zero point zero 0.01, you're the proud owner of 28,130,000 Venezuelan Bolivar. So you can imagine, that if you have at least one Bitcoin, like a full Bitcoin in Venezuela, you're a billionaire. You have 2,813,000,000 Venezuelan Bolivar with just one Bitcoin. That is insane. Even if you have like one Dogecoin, you have like, you know, um, one Dogecoin, it's about 815,000 bolivars. Those poor people, even a poopy coin is worth more than their currency. Yeah, I'm a Venezuelan billionaire, except I live in Mexico. It's not that much in Mexico, but still. Um, and finally, to end things, I just updated the pricing on the consultation packages on justlearnbitcoin.com. Um, check them out. We have new lower pricings on that. We have a new uh, supporter on the site, which is Warriors on Track. They help veterans uh, get on track with their lives. And yeah, check them out. I have the link for them in the description. If you want to learn to trade like a professional, being taught by a professional, go to justlearnbitcoin.com, click Learn to Trade like a professional, and you submit. Like if you're interested in that, you submit the discount code JLB10, you get 10% off. Now, trading is not for everyone, so um, don't take it like you have to join the program. It all depends on what you want to use it for. Yeah, it's very useful. You don't only, trade cryptocurrencies with, you know, TA skills, but you can also trade stocks and the regular financial markets. So it all depends on what your risk tolerance is, and if you want to do it for a living, or if you just want to have a new skill, then yeah, um, it's not like we're saying learn to trade. It's not an obligation for you guys to learn to trade. It's a choice, right? Personally, like I don't trade much. I've traded, yes, um, but very, very sporadically. Like I haven't traded anything this year, except for exchanging my poopy coin for more Bitcoin. Um, like as I mentioned, I had some poopy coin sitting around for about a year. I got it pretty damn cheap, and I pretty much sold it at a slightly higher price than what I got it for. I still have some poopy coin that I have not been able to sell, uh, but still, you know, um, hopefully soon it'll go a little bit higher than 2 Satoshi, right? I mean, I got it for free anyway, whatever. Um, but anyway, if you don't have a Lightning wallet, check out Bottle.li. The link's in the description. Sign up if you haven't, and you get 1,000 Satoshis just for signing up. It's a bonus. You gotta stack the sats. And with that app, you can download the extension and you can tip your favorite YouTuber, whoever that might be. with lightning. There's a little button. I don't know if that works if they don't have it, but um, there's a button next to the edit video on YouTube and the subscribe button and stuff. That says bottle and it has a little lightning, and you can just like send them a satoshi or whatever you want to send them. Um, if you want to tip me, there's my Bottle.li, my tipping.me, um, my on-chain SegWit BECH32 address. It's not obligation, like it's a choice, and I didn't join YouTube for the donations. Um, but if you find a video useful, then um, and you want to send something, then it's appreciated. But anyway, I'm gonna end it here. Have a good rest of your day, and I'll see you later. I am out.